Hello YouTube, Teal here. So normally you guys would see a studio vlog from me, but this weekend I didn't really do that much. I went to Six Flags again, fun stuff, and spent a lot of time in my sketchbook and working on my color palette paintings, which was just kind of like repetitive content. I feel like it just brushes on paper and that kind of stuff. So I thought I would do a sketch and chat to finish off the last double spread in my sketchbook. I do have like one more page over here, but I thought a double spread would be nice for you guys. So if you like these kinds of videos, I do more, I do 1 or 2 sketch and chat videos in on my Patreon. So you're welcome to check that out. And let's get started. So normally when I open up my sketchbook to start working in it, if I don't already have like an idea or a plan, like of something that I want to work on, I will open Pinterest and I will just kind of find like interesting people and like poses like this and go ahead and draw it. I try to pick something like low stakes to start with. So right now I have this this gel pen that like changes color as you use it. Like it's got a lot of colors in it. That way, like if it looks crazy or whatever, I can just kind of like make a mess of it, you know? So yeah, what have you guys been up to? I have been just working my day job as usual. We are now, so if you don't already know, if you don't watch my vlogs, if you don't, you should check them out and subscribe. I have a full-time day job as a preschool assistant director. In the summertime, I am the summer camp director for the kids who are basically like rising kindergartners and up. And so this year, so far, we still can't do field trips because of COVID. So we're making the best of it, and it's been a lot of fun. Like today, I was the first official day of summer camp. The last couple of weeks, quite a few kids were out of school, but not everybody was done with school yet. And then here in Atlanta, kids kind of always have the week of Memorial Day off before like things really get started. So we had that. And yeah, so this was the first official day of summer camp. It went pretty well. We had a lot of kids. Our maximum number of kids for summer camp is 26 because when we do field trips, that's how many kids we can fit on the buses. I actually don't know the brand of this pen. I've got a few of them. I've got this one. There's one with a green cap, but it's not really mostly green. I've got one with an orange cap. I've got a sad one that lost its cap. I feel like it was probably yellow. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, the cap. I think I have one more of these that's blue that still has its cap. Is this one? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So these are a lot of fun. Are you guys interested in like knowing what's in my pencil case? If you are, let me know because I can do that. I can show you guys that. All right. So one sketch in the books. Sometimes what I like to do. Oh, jeez. Sometimes what I like to do is to add some watercolor. I don't know why, but lately my watercolors have been exploding like this whenever I open them. If you have any advice for that. I can't leave it open on my desk, which is what I would like to do, because my cat, one of my cats, goes on my desk and just like sits around and hangs out and then makes everything fall down. So that's really like worse than this situation. But yeah, sometimes I'll pull out my watercolors and I'll use whatever colors are left in the palettes to fill in some big spaces. So let's do that. Let's fill in her hair, or their hair. Let's fill in their hair. Let's do like a gradient in ombre. Oh, and I didn't mention this yet, but I'm working in a Strathmore mixed media sketchbook. I think it's series 500. I love it. I'm absolutely head over heels in love with this sketchbook. I was going to go ahead and just have this be like the sketchbook brand and like type that I get. But I'm trying out one more before I make my decision. And that sketchbook is it's this one right here. It's a Stillman and Burn from the Zeta series. And yeah, I'm excited to try it out. I've heard good things about it. Yeah, so just making this a nice, filling this up. She kind of looks like a monument. Alright, I need to get my pencil sharpener. So generally what I draw in my sketchbook are portraits of people and plans for bigger paintings, and then sometimes just like objects or things that I think of. I kind of love the pose of this person in this picture, so maybe let's do that. This, by the way, is a Prismacolor Colorase pencil in light blue, and the paints that I'm using are Winsor and Newton. I'm excited to finish out this sketchbook. Finishing a sketchbook is just, it feels like proof of productivity, which probably sounds like really silly and millennial, but I don't know, it makes me feel good, you know? And it's like, it's nice to start a new one. It's nice to do the sketchbook tour and to see like how much I've done and how far I've come, and how far I've come. I think this sketchbook started out with the end of February. So this sketchbook passed by pretty quickly, actually. I didn't have like a theme or anything specific for what I wanted to put in here. Towards the beginning, I did have this idea that I wanted to make sketching a daily habit. It didn't really turn out. For a while I was really not drawing much. I would even bring my sketchbook to work, but I would never actually draw in it. It was just kind of there, just in case I felt like drawing in it. Oh, I made their hair really big. That's okay. Looks kind of like a cartoon. I think it'd be cool to do like a live version of this, so that I could have like suggestions. Oh, are they showing off their Band-Aid for the COVID vaccine? It's awesome. We love that. I think one thing that I would like to do a bit more in my next sketchbook is to draw more figures in action in environments. That's something that I feel like I never really work on or try to do that I would like to do. I think it would make paintings that I make a bit more interesting. It would definitely make them more difficult, but that's fine. We're here for a challenge. Let's see, what should we pull out next? Another thing I really like to use when I'm not quite sure what to do or how to fill up a page is a brush liner. I've really been liking this graphite one that I got from a box. I also really love this one, which is Kiritaki. Really good. I don't know like the details and everything. I know it wasn't closed all the way. But it's phenomenal for like smaller brush kind of situation. And then this one I think is also Kiritaki, but a different one, of course. And I love this too. This one's actually like a brush. The other two that I showed are felt tip. Maybe if this is a monument, we can kind of continue this, like, we can make it like a mountainous range. Have like a big one here. And the mountains kind of come off of the shoulders. Getting a little Bob Ross in here. And we can put a sun. I think that'd be nice. I like sunlight. We'll make it one of the ones that has the lines around it, like this. Ooh, okay. And then let's do, what word could I put on here? I don't know, I'll have to think about that later. I feel like it needs a word, but I'm not sure what word. But what we could do is fill up a lot of this. Maybe, ooh, maybe the mountains can have eyes in them. I imagine them to be really lazy eyes. When in doubt, add eyes to anything and everything. It looks so dumb. Maybe we can add some grass. Yeah, okay. And let's add, I kind of want to paint in some like nice sunset colors. Maybe, here, let's get it all wet here. So this sketchbook is, I mentioned it is mixed media. I love it a lot because the paper, even though it's good, it doesn't feel too precious. I don't feel like when I make a mess like this that I'm wasting paper. But it's good enough that I don't feel like I'm missing out on learning opportunities when I'm drawing. Because when I'm drawing, I want my drawing to be practice. I don't want it to just be, doodling. I try to take something away from each sketchbook session that I have. That way, I'm always learning, you know? That's part of like doing art. Like I love when the kids at work ask me, like, how'd you get so good at drawing and stuff like that. And I'm like, I practiced. I've been just drawing since I was a kid, like you guys, and I just tried things out and looked to see what happened when I tried things, and I just kept on trucking. And that's what I like. That's what I feel like a sketchbook is. It's to keep on trucking, to keep on going, and to see what comes of it. I should have put the yellow on the bottom. There's a learning experience for you. I think I'm also going to blot out the sun so it's white instead of yellow. Sometimes working with kids, you forget that, like, you don't have to make the sun yellow. Today we actually, so the theme for summer camp this month, or this year, is the oceans. So we're learning about each ocean each week, and this week we're learning about the Arctic Ocean. So we learned about the midnight sun and the polar night, which the midnight sun is basically the sun stays up for 6 months around the Arctic Circle, and polar night is the opposite of that. So it's nighttime for 6 months. So we made this cute little craft. I'll put a picture if I have one. It's a paper plate, and in the center circle we put, like, half of it is daytime and half of it is nighttime. And like, so one side has a sun in a circle and the other side has a moon, like a crescent. And we wrote on each side, so the daytime one says midnight sun, and the bottom one, the nighttime one, says polar night. And you can turn it, so whichever way you turn it, it's right side up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's what we did today. And it was a bit of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm thinking maybe we can call this midnight sun. Maybe we can add like 2 other words for the mountain. So midnight sun. Midnight sun, period. Peaking mountain. Let's do that. Peaking mountain. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a bit like scratchy and gross. We're watching Jazz's brother's dog, as you might know if you watch my vlogs. My life is pretty repetitive, guys. But I appreciate you sticking around. But yeah, so we're watching her, and I discovered because of her, not because of her, but I discovered it. She helped me to discover that I'm allergic to dogs. I'm allergic to the dander. Oh, I like this pose situation. Maybe we can make like a little spot here. Okay, yeah, so I discovered that I'm allergic to her. I'm allergic to dander. And it seems like if she's here for just a day or two, I'm okay. I don't pet her, which I know it's really sad. And yeah, I try not to touch her too much, because the way that I found out that I'm allergic is I'm definitely a cat person, number one. But I do love animals, and I will say I prefer dogs who are a little bit calm and a little bit smart. I'm not a big fan of like dumb dogs. They're cute, they're adorable, they're wonderful. They're just not for me, you know. And she's a little slow. She's also super energetic, like super energetic, and she's beautiful and wonderful, and I love her. I just would not want to own her as a dog. So yeah, so there was one day that she was being really, really good. So I pet her a bunch. So I was like, wow, good girl, good job. You're listening, you're doing a good job, you're not being too crazy. And that, like, from that point on, I just like was so congested, I couldn't breathe. And I was trying to fall asleep, and it was so bad. Like, okay, if you know me, I can sleep. I nearly slept through a really bad hurricane. I don't know if it was category 5 or not, but it was a really bad hurricane. My mom had to wake me up to move me away from my room. Like, I went to sleep on the floor in my room because that's further away from the window. But it started to get pretty bad, so she wanted me out of my room completely. And if she hadn't woken me up, which already took some time and effort, I would have definitely slept through the whole thing. And I'm talking about like stuff flying at the windows, like it was bad. So I like to sleep. So I was trying to go to sleep and I couldn't go to sleep, and that's like a surefire sign that something's wrong. And so I was thinking, I was like, what did I do different, differently today that I haven't been doing? And I realized that I pet Mirage a lot. That's her name. And then that's when it occurred to me. I was like, I'm allergic to her. And she had been staying with us for a very long time. And I was kind of like slowly becoming congested every day. And I didn't know why. So I realized like it was just, a click in my brain. Like someone turned the key. I was like, I'm allergic to her. And then I started to realize if I saw other people's dogs or I went to people's houses with dogs that I would get pretty stuffy. Some dogs make it worse than others. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Because as a kid, like in high school, I had a papillon, and I didn't really have any issues. If she bit me or like nipped at me, my skin would swell up a lot. But I just thought it was just a weird thing with my skin. But yeah, so the long story short, I think I'm congested because we've been watching her for a little while. Yeah. Okay. It's getting pretty dark. And I'm a bit hungry, so I think I'm going to leave this here. And I might add some more to this later. We'll see. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me to fill out this sketchbook spread. If you are interested in seeing like more of this kind of content, I make sketch and chats once or twice a month over on my Patreon, and I also do sketchbook scans of like my entire sketchbooks as I get through them. That's also over on my Patreon, so feel free to check that out. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, night, evening, week, month, year, whatever it is for you. And see you next time.